Hello everyone, Donnie Wanders here, and today I have wandered to the Little Meander River in Hants County, Nova Scotia. This river is pretty fascinating to me because it's got such steep sides. Like if you look up behind me there, that's really steep. And it's the same actually on this side, it's just a little further back, but really steep walls in this riverbed. What's neat too is that this river is very small at the moment. We have not had a ton of rain lately, and I'm pretty much walking down like the right channel of the bed. So if you look, this is all riverbed, and the river itself is just like a very gentle little stream just over here to my left. And I wanted to show you this because it's a pretty astounding landscape if you think about water and how water flows. So when you look at a riverbed like this, obviously this one's kind of an extreme example, but you have the river flowing here, and then if you look like up the bank of the river right here, you can see how high this water must get during really extreme weather events. And then over on this side where there's no water at the moment, all along here, this bank, like this is how high this water gets when we have a big rain event. Or it doesn't have to be one big rain event. It could be multiple small to medium weather events over an extended period of time. So if we got rain, say a little bit of rain every day for a month, this river would probably be flooding both its banks. Because it hasn't rained a ton lately, the river is kind of confined just to this one channel here. This is a really deep pool here. And by really deep, deep in comparison to the rest of the river. Like it's probably, I would say, like 2 feet deep, like right here. And stays deep, maybe even gets, about maybe 2 feet, I would say, maybe a little bit deeper. And then if we just come up here, it gets extremely shallow again. And you can see that the water, the velocity of the water picks up quite a lot in through this section, through this little riffle. And then if you look a little further down, like here, it gets nice and flat, and then beyond it, there's another riffle. All those differences in water patterns can make for really good fish habitat. Also, it's really attractive, so it's fun to fish in a place like this. I haven't actually seen any fish today. I mean, I'm not fishing today because it's not fishing season at the moment. And it's November, so the fish could be getting a little lazy at this time of year. They shouldn't be like feeding. There's not like a ton of bugs or anything for them, although there would definitely be smaller aquatic species for them to feed on. So I haven't seen any fish. But, I think this would be a really fun river to come and fish. I don't have a ton of videos about fishing on my YouTube channel, but I do really like to fish. So one of the reasons that I'm exploring this river today is just scoping out good fish habitat for next fishing season. So I wanted to come and have a look and just check out the terrain, check out access. That's a really big one. Even if the fish habitat is awesome and there's big fish. If I can't get to it, it's not really any good to me. So I wanted to kind of check out what's happening in this stretch of this river. And it looks very, very fishy. It looks fishy. Not in a bad way. So there's really nice deep channels, and there are some nice pools. There are long stretches of this river that are kind of just like flat, and that's not great fish habitat. It's still very important for fish because it encourages or it provides habitat for little fish, and big fish like to eat little fish. But this is like a nice, like the water is super clear, which is lovely. And there's a pretty good mixture of substrate here. So it's mostly like pebbles and cobbles, boulders. And then there's some nice areas like this little, I'm going to call it it's like a little riffle, I guess. It's sort of a mini waterfall section where there's exposed bedrock. The other thing that I look for in fish when I go fishing is I want to go somewhere that is not just accessible but attractive. Like I like fishing in pretty places, and so this river is definitely checking that box as well. This stretch of river, this short stretch, I wanted to show it to you because it has like undercut banks. So this bank over here is undercut by the water going under it. It's eroded a little bit underneath, and it can make for a really nice place for small fish to hide. So it gives them a little bit of cover. It's also relatively deep here. Again, this isn't like a deep river. It's only, I don't know, maybe a few inches to a few feet deep in most places today. Could be very different during a big rain event or if we have like a really wet spring. Another nice thing about this section of the river for fish is there's a little bit of tree cover over here as well. So a lot of fish will hide under trees like this that have fallen across the river, and then this tree has kind of fallen down a little bit, isn't quite in the river, but can provide cover, places for fish to hide because they don't want to get eaten by other animals, bigger fish or birds. And then if we look up, there's a lot of cover here as well, so that those trees, and actually all the way down this section of the river, the trees are going to provide a fair amount of cover from fish hawks. So here in Nova Scotia, colloquially, a lot of people call osprey fish hawks because they hunt fish, of course. So these trees, while, an osprey might be flying up there somewhere, they could easily see fish in this water down here because their eyesight is incredible, but they're going to have a tough time kind of navigating through all these branches to come down and pick off a fish. So lots of nice cover here for fish in this section of the river. So much cover that I can't see any today. I guess it doesn't help that I'm tromping through, being loud, and wearing bright orange so they can see me coming for a while. I love this section of the river. It's so mossy and so beautiful. Check out this tree, or these crazy trees that are are growing out the side of this bank. They are quite tall, like very tall. They look very, very healthy. I wonder if those trees, like when they were planted, and by planted I mean like a seed landed on the ground and took hold. Like I wonder if they were growing straight up, and then because this is such a steep slope that everything started to kind of, like the ground started kind of just slumping down towards the river, and then the trees were already established, so they just kind of made a bend and kept on growing. It's always fascinating to see trees growing out the sides of steep embankments like this. I don't really know what the point of this video is today. You know, sometimes in a video I'll show you like I'm going to do this trail and it's a loop trail, or I'm going to walk to the end and walk back, or I take you and show you something very specific, or I talk about a certain thing. And I really didn't have any plan for that today. I just kind of wanted to walk up and down a gentle river. So I guess mission accomplished. I guess my point is, or the point in not having a point, is that you don't always need a point. You can just like put on your rubber boots and go stroll down a river if there's one nearby. So yeah, a really, really pleasant walk down the Little Meander River today. I'm going to wrap it up here though. So yeah, thank you for watching. And Donnie Wanders, we'll see you in the next one.